Summed up, he wants you to keep your trap shut. Well, I couldn't say that instead of going through that long Megillah there.
Right? You ready? Okay. Don't forget, Crouch.
Don't worry, they have.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't tell anybody, but the secret word tonight is foot.
Really?
I was going to spell it again.
I didn't know you could, huh? Okay, give us the footnotes.
All right.
Again?
Again.
Thinks he's on Colgate.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't tell anybody, but the secret word tonight is foot. F-O-O-T.
Really?
You bet your life. Elgin American, creators of America's most beautiful compact, smartest cigarette cases, finest dresser sets, present Groucho Marx in the Elgin American show, You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here's that sterling Elgin American, the one, the only...
Is that guy still around? Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx. Thank you. Here I am again with $2,000 for one of our couples tonight. George Fanneman was first to try for it.
We invited some movie fan club presidents and some movie fan mail clerks to the show. And just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Verlee Gross from Universal Pictures and Miss Barbara Ring, president of the Dana Andrews fan club. And here they are. Ladies, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for Elgin American Compacts, girls. And if either of you say the secret word at any time we're talking, you each win a 16-millimeter Apollo Sound movie projector. It's a common word, something you always have with you. A studio mail clerk and a fan club president, eh? Verlee Gross, you're the girl from the studio
Yes, I am.
fan mail department, huh? Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Not married, You're not interested in ordinary men after working around all those movie stars, I suppose, eh?
Oh, but I am interested in ordinary men.
Are you? How old are you, Verlee? That's kind of an odd name. What is
Verlee.
that?
Accent on the
It's
last
what?
syllable. Verlee.
Verlee?
French.
Oh. It's French.
Yes.
Like Rudy Verlee? Is that...
No. I don't think Rudy'd be happy.
Oh, Rudy's always happy. How old are you, Verlee?
36.
36. You don't look it.
Well, thank you.
I thought you were going to say 26.
Thank you very much.
And Barbara Ring, what fan club are you president of?
The Dana Andrews fan club.
Mm-hmm. How many members do you have nationally, I mean?
900 nationally.
900?
Mm-hmm. 150 here in Los Angeles.
Uh-huh. Now, why did you pick Dana Andrews? Why didn't you join the Groucho Marx fan club?
Well, I didn't know there was one.
I'm not sure there's a Groucho Marx. The fact is, I have a very devoted fan club, Barbara. They send me thousands of letters every month. Credit managers all over the country. Barbara, would you like my autograph?
Yes, sir. I'd like 5 of them.
5 of them? Why?
Well, if I have 5 of your autographs, I can get 1 of Dana Andrews.
Well, I'll give you 10. You can get 2 of Dana Andrews. What does this Andrews chap have that I haven't got?
Oh, he's got a good physique. He's got brown wavy hair.
He's got what?
Brown wavy hair.
Brown wavy hair.
He's got just beautiful eyes, and he talks with his eyes. And I like the way he throws his women around.
You like the way he throws his women around? Well, stick around. I'll throw you around. That sounds pretty imposing, that lineup. Now, tell me, what have I got that Dana hasn't got?
You're witty, you're charming, you're intelligent, and you put on a good quiz show every week to give away free money.
All right, I don't need a house to fall on. I may not be the glamour type, but just remember, I had one of the first fan clubs in America. I received so much mail, they had to add another pony to the Pony Express. Now, we have the perfect gifts for each of you, for Burley and for Barbara. Elgin America's stunning red compact trimmed in bright jeweller's bronze.
Oh, they're beautiful.
They're exquisite. Thank you so much.
Now, Miss Gross, as a studio mail clerk, about how many letters does your studio average a day?
Well, I would say around 3,000.
Mm-hmm. And who gets the most mail?
Well, Yvonne DiCarlo, who's appearing in Crisscross here.
Yvonne DiCarlo gets
Yes,
the most mail?
That's right.
Why is that?
Well, I think she has a certain exotic appeal for men, and...
Appeal, I think it would be closer.
Oh, she doesn't.
I used to know a girl peeled for men. She got 4,000 letters a week. You know, you can also get an orange to do that. You know. Yvonne DiCarlo, huh?
Mm-hmm. And then I think that the women identify themselves with her and like the way she walks so slinkily in those long gowns.
Mm-hmm. And who among the male stars gets the most mail?
Well, Howard Duff gets a terrific amount of mail.
Not nearly as many as this Slinky.
No, well, after all, she has an appeal, you know.
Yeah. Well, couldn't he slink around and get 3,000?
I don't think he'd look nearly as well.
I'll slink around for you after a while. Now, why do most people write fan letters?
Well, the majority, I would say about 90% of the mail we receive is asking for free pictures.
Mm-hmm. And do you send out free pictures?
Oh, yes.
How much do you charge for free pictures?
10 cents to $1.
10 cents. Well, that's pretty cheap for a free picture. What other mail do you get besides the ones asking for pictures?
Oh, we get letters from proposals for marriage to the women stars and to some of the men stars, too. And then we receive letters requesting money and help. And then we get letters from crackpots.
Did you ever send a crackpot?
Oh, we never answer them. We don't encourage it.
Oh, I thought they asked for a crackpot. I didn't know it. What kind of letters did the crackpot send?
Well, I think probably the best example would be the fellow who wrote in and wanted the gum that Dick Powell had chewed in a picture.
Probably a beech nut.
Probably.
Well, what did they do? Did they go out under the seat in the movie house and get this gum? Or?
No, I had to chew all day.
And you sent this on?
Mm-hmm.
And it does seem to make him...
We never heard from him again.
He probably chewed himself to death. Huh? Now, what's the oddest letter you ever got from a movie fan?
Well, I think probably the woman who had seen The Life of Riley, and she wrote to us and she asked...
You had seen the whole life of Riley, or just...
She'd seen the movie picture.
Oh, just the movie,
yes.
huh?
And she
just
asked...
coming out now, huh?
Mm-hmm. And she asked she asked us for William Bendix if we would send him, and she sent $10 to cover the charges.
And he wouldn't go?
No, he told us to send back the $10 and send a big picture that he autographed to her personally.
I listened to Benny Goodman the other night, and he sent me. Do you still receive many letters from GIs overseas asking for pin-up pictures?
Oh, yes, they're always asking for pin-ups.
Uh-huh.
And then we had the young chap, this probably happened a couple of years ago, who wrote in and asked for one of our stars, shall we say, unmentionables. He said that he was he was making a hobby of collecting
Let's
them.
not say unmentionables, huh?
Well...
But just keep within a reasonable confine. Lingerie?
Well, yes, and he said he was collecting them. It was his hobby. He had
Well,
over
was he
100.
collecting them filled or empty?
He didn't say, anyway.
He didn't say whether he wanted them on the half shell or...
No.
Now, Barbara, let's get back to your fan club. As president of the Dana Andrews fan club, you have quite a responsibility, I should say.
Oh, yes, I have.
Just what do you do?
Well, the girls elected me their president, and I generally run the whole darn show.
Did you get a new balcony this year? Like so? You run the whole show. Well, what does the show consist of?
Well...
What do you do when you meet? I mean, how many of you meet approximately?
Well, each time we meet at a different girl's house.
I should think so.
And I preside over all the meetings.
You preside over it regardless of whose house it's in.
Yes.
And?
But the girl's always the chairman.
Mm-hmm.
And I just preside over the meetings and pound the gavel.
Yeah. And and then what do? You just sit there and pound the gavel all the time? That must sound like a meeting of woodpeckers, doesn't it? What happens after you pound the gavel? Can you really get silence with a group of girls just by pounding a hammer? You crack them over the skull with it? Or... All right, now you pounded the gavel. Now what happens?
Now the minutes are read from the last meeting.
The minutes are... You haven't had enough of that other meeting. You got to read the meetings again, huh?
And then we have the treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report?
Then we get on
How
with
does that
business
go?
at hand. Well, she just reads off... It's a girl, by the way. She just reads off the number of dollars we have in the treasury.
Uh-huh. And what do you have, approximately,
Oh,
in the way of loot?
$350.
$300? Well, how do you get that money?
The girls... We take pictures sometimes of our star, Dana Andrews, and the girls write in and ask for pictures. And then we have monthly dues, which are 20 cents a month. And we put out a journal monthly, Data on Dana. Dana.
And is there sufficient material to fill a whole journal?
Oh, yes, we have 5 or 6 pages every journal.
You do, huh? Mm-hmm. Could you give us an approximate idea of some of the subjects in this journal?
Well, we interview new stars every week, and...
Oh, this isn't just confined to Dana Andrews, huh, this journal?
No, we have some honorary members.
They bring their own gavel, I suppose. Well, how much do you know about Mr. Andrews?
Well, he was the 3rd son of a minister. And as a child, he never liked much to go to dances because he was rather shy. And
how much?
Well, I've heard he had a nice fat wallet.
He had a fat wallet? And?
And his hobby is boating, and he never lets his children... He has 4 children, and he never lets his children go on the boats because he's afraid they'll fall off. He wants to wait till they're a little older. He and his wife go out boating.
And they leave the kids on the shore?
No, they leave the children at home.
Oh, at home, huh? And who takes care of them?
Oh, they have a housemaid, naturally.
Oh, I thought perhaps one of the fan club went up there.
Babysitter?
Cracked them with a gavel, huh? Well, could you give us a little more detail about about Dana Andrews? Other than the fact that he doesn't want his children to go in a rowboat? How do you get all this information?
Oh, I read all articles that are written on him. And if girls find something that they think we haven't read, they just send it in. And then...
Why do you go to all this trouble? Are you actually infatuated with this man? Here's a man, a father with 4 children. Huh? Are you trying to horn in on his territory?
It's my hobby.
How do you think his wife feels about this, huh?
She maybe knows, I don't know. She's probably just
You're a very
jealous.
attractive-looking girl, you know.
Thank you very much.
He's out there with his wife in that rowboat. Does he always take his wife?
No.
Have you ever met him personally?
Oh, yes. Twice I met him.
And were you impressed?
Oh, very much so. Last time I met him was on the set of The Bishop's Wife. And he'd been introduced to me before, so I think he remembered me. I wasn't sure, though. So I just introduced myself. And he said, oh, you're the president of my fan club. And
did you have the mallet with you?
Well, right now we're conducting a contest to find the name of a fan club. We haven't got it yet.
You have no name for this club?
Just the Dana Andrews fan club. And we're looking for a cute name or something.
What about the Mary Andrews?
That's his wife's name.
That's his wife's name? Well, use that. Use his wife. Does his wife belong to the club, too?
Oh, yeah, she's an honorary member.
I see. Well, that's very nice of you. Do any of your members collect items that your hero has touched or worn or used in any way?
Oh, yes.
What are some of these items?
Well, we had one girl that... She went up and asked the star, Dana Andrews, if she could have a few pieces of hair out of his head. And he complied.
She didn't want the whole head, huh?
No. Should have liked to have it, but she couldn't.
Just some locks, huh? She could have got that at the delicatessen. She wanted to pluck some hair, is that right?
That's right. And she got it. He let her take some hair off of his head. And no, she just took hold of it and
pulled it out. Well, it's certainly a nice way of spending the morning, huh?
There's another girl that collects old cigarette butts that he's thrown away.
What does she do? Follow him around with a garbage can?
Well, talking
This
about...
doesn't seem like a very romantic relationship that you have. Huh? Collecting old cigarette butts and pulling his hair out doesn't... I wouldn't consider a very fancy romance. However, you probably have your own thoughts about this thing. Now, as president of a movie star's fan club, what's the biggest thrill you ever had?
Well, meeting the star and seeing him work on a picture.
And what's the most embarrassing moment you ever had?
Well, on Vine Street once, my mother and I were coming out of Brown Derby, and we saw this car, and it looked like Dana Andrews. So I went up to him, and I said, Mr. Andrews, may I please have your autograph? And he turned around at me and he said, well, I'm sorry, but I'm Cornell Wilde, but you can have it anyway. So he signed Dana Andrews
He was sorry he was Cornell Wilde?
Yes. Then he wasn't very big.
And then you told him that you were president of the club with the hammer and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Do the fans ever send gifts to their heroes?
Yes, they do.
Valley?
But it's usually to the heroines.
Oh, to the heroines. The heroes get nothing, huh?
That's right. Just love letters.
Well, if I find time, I'll send Andrews a toupee. He probably needs it by this time. What sort of gifts do they send?
Well, it's usually jewelry, and it's probably because it's easy to package.
And steel. And what was the oddest present that any of the stars ever
Well,
got?
last Christmas, we received 2 fruitcakes baked by a girl in Australia, and in them she had placed various...
Kangaroo, I suppose. No?
No, she placed various good luck coins, but nobody knew what they meant, and they were all worthless. And we did eat the fruitcake, though.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, you got a pretty penny out of that anyhow. Well, you make a very interesting team. Now, let's see how well you can work together for $2,000. In just 1 minute, you're going to play the Elgin American game, You Bet Your Life. First, George Fenneman is going to offer some invaluable advice. Go ahead, George.
Have you looked at your compact lately? One look now can save your reputation in accessories if that look shows you a compact that has seen its best days. Remember, your compact is the one accessory you use most, that other people see you use. And it either adds to or subtracts from the smart impression you want to make. Compacts are such important fashion accessories today that every woman needs 3, one each in the correct mood for her daytime, sports, and evening clothes. Only Elgin American offers such a thrilling variety of designs, shapes, and sizes for every apparel need. And in such a wide price range that every woman can have an Elgin American compact to reflect her good taste in glowing terms. Look at your compact tonight. And tomorrow, get the compact fashion prefers. America's #1 compact. An exquisite Elgin American.
Now, let's see if you two will get a chance at the $2,000 question. You're going to play You Bet Your Life. Fenneman, tell them the rules.
Each of our 3 couples has $20. They bet as much of that 20 as they want on each of 4 questions. The couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the $2,000 question at the end of the show. Our other 2 couples are in a waiting room off stage, so they won't know what goes on until it's their turn.
Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. What question category did you select?
Comic strip characters.
Comic strip characters. How much of your $20 will you bet on the first one?
10.
10? Okay. Mac and Mr. Simpkins are characters in what comic strip?
Tilly the Toilet.
Tilly the Toiler is correct.
Well, we're off to a great start. They have $30.
Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight. How much of the 30 are you going to bet this time?
20.
20? All right. In what strip do you find the little Indian lonesome polecat?
Little Abner.
Little Abner is correct.
They now have $50.
Here's your third question. How much of the 50 are you going to go for?
40.
40. You get along fine. And what comic strip is Hot Shot Charlie? Hot Shot Charlie. Take a stab. Any answer is better than none.
Miss.
I'm sorry. It's Terry and the Pirates.
They now have $10.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 10 are you going to bet?
10.
10. All right. Alexander and Cookie are children in what comic strip?
Blondie and Dazzler.
Blondie is correct.
And they wind up with $20.
Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Don't go away now. You're still in the running for the big question.
And perhaps the next couple will say the secret word, Groucho. It's foot. F-O-O-T. They've been in a waiting room off stage. Okay, boys, bring them in. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected an airline hostess and a traveling salesman. And here they are, Miss Mary Bullock and Mr. Joe Budd. Meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for Elgin American Compacts, folks. You know about the secret word. Here's a clue. It's a common word, something you have always with you. You might say it at any time we're talking. An airline hostess and a traveling salesman, eh? Miss Bullock, what's your line?
TWA.
And where do you live now, Miss Bullock?
I'm living in Manhattan Beach at the present time.
Mm-hmm. And salesman Joe Budd?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from, Mr. Budd?
Georgia.
Georgia? Whereabouts?
Whereabouts? Well, Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. Well, that's a good stab, huh? Peachtree Street?
Right near it, East Lake Drive.
That's where the Bud's open, huh?
Yes, sir.
Peachtree. Now, what do you sell, Mr. Budd?
Ophthalmological instruments and supplies.
Would you mind clarifying that?
Ophthalmological instruments are instruments which are used in refracting or examining the eyes and determining the proper vision of the patient's view or eye. The eye doctors use them for that purpose.
Well, don't let's overdo it. Huh? I used to be a top salesman, but I resigned. Nobody wanted to buy any tops. Mr. Budd, are you married?
Yes, sir. Well married.
You're married, huh?
Yes.
How'd you meet your wife? Was she a farmer's daughter?
No, she wasn't a farmer's daughter, but her father was.
Her father was a farmer?
And my father-in-law.
That's quite a trick if you can do it, huh?
Father-in-law married the farmer's daughter. Huh?
Your father-in-law married a farmer's daughter.
Yes.
Well, now you've got me confused, huh? Stewardess, Mary Bullock, huh?
That's correct.
Are you related to the department store downtown?
I haven't been able to trace it yet.
Well, try. They'll load it, huh? They've got money on every counter, huh?
Yes, they have.
How old are you, Mary?
I'm 32.
32? I thought you were 22. Huh?
Thank you.
That's pretty low mileage. It'll be a long time before you're brought in for repairs. Tell me, an attractive girl like you, why aren't you married? Do your male passengers consider you too flighty?
I don't have time to start burning any fires.
Burn any
I'm
fires?
not in any one place long enough.
I see. Sometimes that makes the ideal marriage, you know.
Well, I'll think that one over.
Do your bosses object to hostesses getting married?
Yes, they do. We can't be married and fly because they think we may be too worried about our husbands and what they're doing and not give our passengers good service.
I mean, they're afraid that you'll be thinking of your husband flying around while you're flying around.
That's right.
Well, would you like to get married someday and settle down to Earth?
Yes, I do want to be married.
Could I make a reservation with you for tomorrow night?
Sorry, I have a flight.
You can leave your plane at home, you know. You fly tomorrow night?
Yes.
Oh, you're with a fly-by-night outfit, huh? What do you fly, a DC-6?
Constellation.
Constellation. Just one word of constellation. Now, Mr. Budd, as a traveling salesman, do you ever fly?
Oh, all the time.
Fly all the time?
Yes, sir.
Could you fly around the studio? How's business, Mr. Budd?
Well, business is rocking along pretty well. The ophthalmological replacement service at the present time, however, has been restricted somewhat due to the California climate. Prevented our flying around and stirring it up. Have to look for it all the time.
I suppose it never rains in Georgia, huh?
Now and then. Now and then.
And where's your home office? And I mean all of it.
New York, 118 East 28th Street, R.C. Garvin Incorporated.
How much of the time are you away from home, Mr. Budd?
About 2.5 to 3 weeks out of every month.
What does your wife do to keep occupied while you're away?
Well, she stays at home to keep the home fires burning. We have 2 little buds that are blossoming now, and she has to take care of them.
You're sure of that, huh?
Oh, yes, she told me so.
Now, answer my question. You're sure of that, huh?
Definitely.
Well, where do you go on your trips? I wasn't implying anything. Where do you go on your trips, Mr. Budd?
Well, I travel the West Coast at the present time, but I have worked throughout the United States.
Mm-hmm. Well, how long do you spend in a town?
Well, it depends naturally on the size, but anywhere from
the size
30
of
minutes
to
3 or 4 days.
30 minutes? What does that mean if you're in a town 30 minutes?
Well, occasionally.
It means nobody wears glasses in that town.
That's right. There might be one man who is all fixed up.
Mm-hmm. He probably gets them in the 10-cent store. Now, before we pry into any more secrets, I have a handsome cigarette case for our traveling salesman. And for our airline hostess, a smart round compact, both in two tones of jeweler's bronze. And here they are by Elgin American. Miss Bullock, how do you like it?
Oh, it's lovely. I have an outfit it'll match exactly.
I think any outfit you wear would match. With that compact, you'll always be able to powder your nose at 20,000 feet, Miss Bullock. That is, if you can reach your nose at 20,000 feet.
I'll try and let you know.
Miss Bullock, what qualifications do you need in order to become an airline hostess?
Well, the age is from 21 to 27 years of age, and height from 5'2" to 5'7".
Miss Bullock, you said it. You said foot, and that's the secret word, so you each win an Apollo 16-millimeter sound movie projector. And not only that, but you can also walk out of here tonight with over $2,000. Now, let's settle down to business.
Thank you, Miss Bullock.
Now, you say you have to be 27, from 21 to 27 to be an airline hostess?
Yes.
Well, you're an airline hostess. You said you were more than 27.
But I've been with them 10 years. There's no limit to how long you can go.
Oh, but you're not allowed to come down on the ground, is that it?
No.
Stay up in the air. Well, obviously, I could never be an airline hostess. I hardly know which way is up. Now, how did you happen to become a hostess, Miss Bullock?
Well, I was nursing at the time, and I got restless and wanted to get out of town.
What kind of nursing?
Operating room nurse.
That's not the kind of nursing I thought you were going to say.
Are you disappointed?
No, I'm not disappointed. I'm a little astonished. Now, Mr. Budd, what makes a good drummer?
A good drummer?
Yeah.
Well, to
begin with, why do they call salesmen drummers?
Well, frankly, I couldn't tell you unless they're always beating their way around the country.
Oh. I thought it was because they're in the sticks most of the time.
That's true. That's good.
It's true. It's not very funny, but it's certainly true, all right. Now, what makes a good salesman a good drummer?
Well, a good salesman should know his line and have the proper approach.
Well, I mean, give us a kind of a sample approach. I mean, you have to be relentless on the for the kill.
Well,
you mustn't get discouraged too easily.
Well, that's true.
Suppose you go in a place and the man says we don't need any lenses.
Well, you try to, shall we say, bring his way of thinking without making it too obvious around to the point where he will buy. In other words, make it easy for him to buy.
That doesn't mean clubbing him to death or anything.
No, hardly.
Do you have a pretty good stock of jokes to keep your customers in a good mood?
Well, we usually carry a few around.
You start off with a wow of some kind?
Now and then, occasionally.
Could you give us a sample wheeze just so we can get an idea? I mean, let's see, you're walking in the store now.
In the present company, it might be a sample wheeze, as you term it, but, well, have you heard this one? Did you hear the one about...
You don't just open the door and say, have you heard this one, will you?
Quite right. Top of the evening to you, Dr. Marks. Have you heard the latest?
Oh, is that it?
The latest
Top of the
story?
evening. Well, suppose you're in the morning. I mean, you don't say top of the evening.
Well, quite often it's difficult to see them in the morning when you have to arrange appointments for an evening's cases. But have you heard the one about the mate who rushed up to the captain of the ship?
No,
Said, Captain, the crew is revolting. The captain said, my, they certainly are.
Well, I guess business is lousy all over. Now, seriously, have you ever clinched a sale with that joke?
That particular one, no.
That isn't. I guess that wasn't a very good example, but that's a pretty good joke.
The equipment I sell is the finest, so
well, I
that's
suppose
the
that takes
saving
the
grace.
place of the jokes. As an airline hostess, just what are your duties, Miss Bullock?
Well, our main duty is to keep our passengers comfortable, give them good service by offering them magazines and newspapers in flight, giving them writing
You mean
material.
if they're sick to their stomach, you offer them a magazine?
No, they don't get sick.
They don't get sick?
No. Smooth flying.
Smooth flying. Talking to a fellow who's flown quite a lot. Yeah, how many passengers does your plane carry?
51.
And do you load the passengers on your ship?
Yes, I do.
Do they ever come on loaded without you?
If they do, we unload them.
You unload them? Well, how do you know if they're stewed or not?
Well, they...
You give them an alcohol test when they come up the gangplank?
No, you sort of sniff around. You can smell it.
You mean you go running up and down the aisle? Sniffing at the passengers?
No, you don't have to do that. Just stand there. You can smell it.
You mean you can tell if a man is intoxicated just by looking at him?
Yes, usually.
Well, you've got considerably more talent than I thought you had. Do any of the passengers ever try to make a date with you, to put it nicely?
Yes, they do.
And what do you do? Go fly a kite, you tell them? What do you tell them? Huh?
I usually say I have a flight tonight or be busy.
Busy?
My boyfriend's waiting for me at the airport.
And does that usually cool them off, the boyfriend?
Yes.
Do you actually have a boyfriend that's waiting for you at each end of this line?
Well, it's a good story to tell them.
I don't think they trust me when I get on a plane. The first thing the hostess does is always strap me in the seat. And there are times when that's rather inconvenient. Now, drummer boy, does your wife ever accompany you on your trips?
Oh, yes, occasionally during
does,
summer
huh?
vacations. Yeah.
And they both with Dana Andrew?
No, they take care of the rear seat when we travel by car.
They go with you, huh?
Yes, occasionally.
And do you bring the children in and show them to the fellow in the store to kind of break down his resistance, huh?
That would be a very immediate resistance breaker downer.
Yes, it would.
That's a good idea.
You
I'll
should try
remember
that
that
sometime. It'd be no charge at all for that. Yeah. My wife insisted on going one trip with me, and I finally had to take her. It was her honeymoon, and she figured it. How many miles a year do you estimate you travel on business?
Oh, about 75 to 80,000 miles a year.
Does all that go on your expense account?
Oh, yes.
What else goes on your expense account?
Well, entertainment, occasionally.
Well, what?
Well, occasionally we have to put a bottle of, shall we say, customer coercion lotion on the expense account. Something along that line.
Yes. And that's all now, huh? Just
oh, yes.
a little drink.
Mm-hmm. That's about
Now, what's the most embarrassing experience you've ever had as a traveling salesman? Well, there must be more to it than that.
There definitely is. I flew up to Chicago once from Atlanta to attend the American Academy of Ophthalmology meeting. And had
You
my
have meetings, too, huh? Just
Well,
like
definitely. I have a yearly
Fanfare.
convention.
You have a mallet, the fellow up there with a mallet?
That's right.
You pluck out each other's hair?
Now, this is an eye convention, but you leave the eyes
You
in.
pluck out each other's eyes, I suppose.
Somewhere en route, why...
Well, pardon me. Anyhow, you were on your way to Chicago from Atlanta to attend a convention.
That's right.
When you were
Somewhere
so
en
rudely
route,
interrupted, huh?
A heavy weight was put on my bag, and as I walked into the Morrison Hotel, people were looking at me, and I wondered why, and I finally realized that my sample case was dripping all over the lobbies. And there I was trying to make a good impression, and dripping up the place, as it were. Big Drip Bud, I was known as.
Were there many people following you, huh?
When I got off the elevator on the 32nd floor, everybody on the elevator followed me off, yeah.
I imagine you did land office business up there, huh?
Right so.
Now, what's the biggest mistake you ever made on your airplane, Miss Bullock?
Well, my biggest mistake wasn't on an airplane. My
wasn't?
biggest mistake was not getting married when I was 25 years old.
Why, Miss Bullock, you're still a young girl. You have many opportunities to get married. I'm sure on every trip you had chances to get married.
But I'm afraid I'm getting a little bit choosy now. I find one person with nice quality I like and another one with nice quality, but I can't find them all in the same man.
But you'll find out after you're married to one of them that none of them have all those qualities. Don't set your sights too high, Miss Bullock. You're doomed to disappointment if you do.
All right.
Now, Gabby, let's see how good it's...
Yes.
That's you with the dripping bag. Let's see how good a salesman you are. Pretend I'm a customer and you're selling bathtubs. Now, you knock on my door and start selling me a bathtub. Now, why? Okay, now, I'm the housewife.
The housewife?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't make a difference.
Good morning.
It might to the husband, but it doesn't to me.
I'll knock on the door first.
Okay, knock on the door. Be sure you do, because I may be dressing.
And the door opens?
The door opens, yes.
Good morning.
Open sesame, huh?
Good morning,
We have a small dog named Sesame that opens the door.
Good
All
morning,
right,
Mrs. Frandangle.
The door is ajar. No, how could the door be ajar? Isn't that silly?
Difficult to have.
The door is a door. Let's leave it that way, huh? The jar is a jar, and let that stay in the kitchen. Okay, I'm now standing arms akimbo.
Good morning, Mrs. Frandangle. I would like to interest you in...
What is my name?
In your hypothetical case, Mrs. Frandangle.
Mrs. Fandangle, huh? That's certainly an improvement over the one I've got. I may acquire that permanently, Mr. Bud.
May I take a moment of your time to interest you in the
You
world's
certainly
latest
may.
development in
Yes.
the way of a bathtub?
What is it?
A bathtub. It's a
You want
device...
to sell
with
me a
which
bathtub?
I would like to show you the merits of this latest development.
I see. Do you
Yes,
have it
and
with you?
I have one out in the car. I can very quickly bring it in and install it and give you the full advantages. Or rather, tell you about them, not give them to you. But to list a few of these, why, this is a fur-lined bathtub for cold
Fur-lined
weather,
bathtub?
which also has a new patented feature. You're acquainted with the pleasure that you get in a bubble bath, and you have the bubbles all flowing up and above, and occasionally they overflow and go over the side onto the floor.
That's right.
However, we have a new patented feature. It's an air intake valve that surrounds the upper edge of the tub so that as the bubbles come up, why, they go right into that line of the stream. And this tub, by the way...
Well, I'll take a half a dozen of those and a cheesecake, huh?
Thank you.
You're a pretty good salesman. I'll take 2 of those tubs because I may want to take more than one bath. And that fur-lined tub really intrigues me. I may have the Dana Andrews Club come up and pluck the hair out of that tub. And now then, you're going to play You Bet Your Life, the Elgin American game. If you run your $20 into more than our other couples, you get a chance at the $2,000 question later. Fenneman, remind our listeners how much the first couple won. Here we go. Let's see how high you can build your $20. What question category did you select?
Famous horse racing tracks.
Famous horse racing tracks. Something you're quite familiar with, I imagine. Flying over them all the
No,
time.
see.
All right, here's your first question, and how much are you going to bet?
$10?
10's fine.
10 is fine. All right, in what state do you find Belmont Park?
Belmont Park?
Belmont, that's what I said.
New York.
New York is correct.
They're off to a good start. They have $30.
You now have shot up to $30. How much of this swag are you going to bet on this one?
Shall we try 25?
Let's try 25.
25. She's a high flyer. In what state? In what state is Hialeah? Hialeah.
Oh, Hialeah.
Hialeah. I'm not a betting man myself, so I don't know anything about this. But
Miami,
put me around a pyramid club, and I'll show you some money. Hialeah, huh?
Miami.
Miami, Florida.
They now have $55.
You have zoomed up to 55 smackers, and here's your third question. How much of this 55 are you going to risk?
What do you think? Shall we try the 50? Leave 5 to play with?
Sure, let's try 50.
He wants 5 to play with. Here's your third question. Any man that can play with 5 is certainly a fine fellow. Here's your third question. You're going to bet $50. In what state is Arlington Park?
Arlington Park, Illinois.
Illinois is correct.
They now have $105.
All right, you're coming around the rail now. Is your last chance to beat the other couple, Thomas. Bananas on the rail. How much you going to bet on this one? You've got $105. How much you going to let go?
Shall we bet the C note? $100?
A C note, I presume you mean 100 smackers, huh? In what state is Monmouth Park?
Monmouth Park?
Monmouth Park. Take a stab at it. Any guess is better than nothing, you know.
New Jersey.
New Jersey is correct.
And they wind up with $205.
Thanks and good luck from Elgin American Compacts. Now, in just 1 minute, our last couple will play You Bet Your Life, and then we'll know who gets the crack at the $2,000 question. Fenneman, what's on your mind? Fenneman, what's on your mind? Fenneman, what's on your mind if you have one, huh? Mind what's on your Fenneman, huh?
Want to do it now?
Doesn't make any sense anyway.
Every man and woman will agree that it's much smarter to carry matching accessories. And every man and woman can have that smartness with Elgin American cigarette case and lighter sets. They contribute handsomely to a man's well-dressed feeling. They lend glamour to a woman's smoking. Every lighter is precision made. And for women, many an Elgin American compact can be matched to its own cigarette case, lighter, or to both. See how pleasantly all these sets are priced. How proud you'll look and feel with a stunning cigarette case and lighter to match by Elgin American.
Well, we'll soon know who's going to earn the most money tonight and get the chance at the $2,000 question. George, who's leading so far?
Well, the traveling salesman and the airline hostess are leading with $205. And here's our final couple, Groucho. They've been in a waiting room off stage, so they don't know the secret word is foot. F-O-O-T. Okay, boys, bring them in. Just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Miss Dorothy Bates, a manicurist, and Mr. Mac Wise, a blacksmith. And here they come. Folks, meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to the Elgin American program. And if either of you say the secret word at any time we're talking, you each win a 16-millimeter Apollo sound movie projector. It's a common word, something you will always have with you. A blacksmith and a manicurist, eh? Where'd you do your manicuring, Dorothy?
Beverly Wilshire Hotel.
Mm-hmm. And are you married?
Yes, I am.
You are. Huh? Don't be so defiant about it. Many people are married. Something we don't discuss publicly. How did you meet your husband, Dorothy?
I met my husband at the Gay Blades roller skating rink in New York City.
You met him at the Gay Blades? Was he skating?
Gay Blade.
He was skating?
Uh-huh.
And you were skating?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? Did you fall and he picked you up, or how did you meet him?
Well, he asked me to skate.
And you've been going around ever since?
Yeah.
He asked you to skate, and?
We've been going around together ever since.
I just said that, but how did you meet him? You were skating, you said.
Uh-huh.
And he was skating?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
Well, there was a couples only, and he came over and asked me to skate.
You admired his skating?
Yes, I did.
He admired your skating?
Mm-hmm.
Swinging with rhythm, I suppose, huh? Do you remember what music was playing at the time?
No, I don't.
And you'll never get a chance to say, they're playing our song. How long have you been holding men's hands for a living?
For about 4 years now.
4 years, huh? Why do you keep holding them for 4 years? You afraid to let go?
Oh, I love my work.
Yeah? Blacksmith Mac Wise is your name? Weiss? Weiss?
Weiss.
Weiss, huh? Where are you from, Mr. Weiss?
Oklahoma's my home.
Oklahoma City?
Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Guthrie, huh? Mighty hot down there in the summer.
Yes, it is.
Are you married, Mac?
Yes.
I'll just call you Mac, yeah? Never mind this formality, huh?
Yes, I'm married.
You're married, huh? Any patter little hoofbeats around the house?
Yes, 2 of them.
Are there many blacksmiths around these days?
Well, automobiles kind of got them on the run, but there's 2 classes of blacksmiths. One that work in iron, but I'm a horseshoe.
You're a horseshoe. You shoe horses, huh?
That's right.
Do you ever shoe flies?
Well, I let the horse do that.
You let the horse shoe the flies, huh? Well, that's a likely tale, huh? Now, where's your shop, Mac? Is it under the spreading chestnut tree?
No, the modern blacksmiths got it on a mobile truck, and we just go around.
Mobile truck? You said you were from Oklahoma.
That's right. Oklahoma mobile.
Oh. And Dorothy, where are you from?
New York City.
You're a very pretty girl, Dorothy. Did anybody ever told you that?
No, Groucho, you're the first.
You're not only a manicurist, but a liar. But you're a very attractive prefabricator, huh? It's quite easy to tell you're a manicurist. You're very cuticle, Dorothy. Now, Dorothy, I presume most of your customers are men.
Yes, they are.
Do any of them ever ask you for a date?
Occasionally.
Mm-hmm. And what do you tell them?
I tell them I have a steady date. My husband.
And does that fend them off?
Usually.
Usually. And what about the unusual cases? who refuse to be held off by that kind of an evasive answer?
You got me.
Well, I've got you, but have they got you? Huh? You just tell them that you're married and
Usually, yes.
and that they cease firing, huh? Now, anvil chorus, tell me, what do you tell your customers when they want a date, or don't they want to horse around at all? How do you shoe a horse, Mac?
Well, the first thing I do is bend over.
Yeah?
Put the...
Is that safe? Huh? you make quite a target in that position, Mac. Have any of your clients ever kicked about the way you fix them?
Pretty hard, too.
Yeah, pretty hard, huh? You still think horseshoes are lucky?
Yes.
Well, suppose a horse doesn't want to have new shoes. How do you sell them on the idea, huh?
Well, that's where the blacksmith has to be a little lover, too. The first thing
You talk to him?
You just walk up and pet him, and you say, now, whoa, honey, just stand up here. Daddy won't hurt you. Easy, baby.
You say, whoa, honey?
That's right.
Even if it's a male horse, huh?
Yeah, they have to call him honey, too.
Oh. And what your wife, doesn't she get jealous?
Well...
This baby talk here with all these nags? Huh?
Well, I have to have that.
I've heard of baby talk to hags, but to nags I've never heard. And that keeps them quiet when you mollify them like that with these honeyed expressions, huh?
It usually does.
This dewy talk, huh?
Usually.
Very interesting. I'll bet if Dorothy talked to her manicure customers like that, they'd jump clear over the barber chairs, wouldn't they? Well, since we've got a manicurist here, I better show my hand. For our blacksmith, we have Elgin American silver finished cigarette case. And for Miss Dorothy... And for Dorothy, the silver finish compact by Elgin American. Here you are, Dorothy.
Thank you very much.
How do you like it, Mac?
Thank you very
Really
much.
beautiful.
Really beautiful.
That isn't filled with any cigarettes, but I presume you can take care of that yourself, huh? Now, what's going on here with you? Mac is not only a blacksmith, but a gentleman, huh?
I can't hold on to anything.
Now, Dorothy, what is the average size tip a man leaves after he's held hands for half an hour?
75 cents.
75?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I only give a dime. Well, who gives the largest tips, old men or young men?
Usually old men.
Why is that?
Well, they usually have more money to spend than a younger fellow.
And you
And?
feel this is probably their last contact with life, huh? Do you have any special methods that you use to wangle a big tip out of a customer?
Well, you treat him extra specially. Nice.
Well, I mean, what does that consist of?
Well, you...
You call them ho, baby, and whoa, baby? You say stand still, honey?
Well,
Can
you give him a nice massage and...
You give them a massage, too, huh? No wonder they get 75 cents, huh? Where did you say you were located, Dorothy?
Beverly Wilshire Hotel.
I'll send my hands over in the morning, huh? Can you tell anything about a customer simply by looking at his hands?
Yes, you can tell if he works hard or if he's neat or if he bites his nails or what he does.
Well, take a quick glance. What can you tell by looking at my hands?
Oh, looks like you need a manicure.
That's not true, Dorothy. They may need washing, but I don't need a manicure. Now, suppose I came into your parlor and laid my hand down on your table. What's the first thing you'd do?
I'd file your nails.
You'd file them?
Mm-hmm.
Alphabetically, I presume. Do you ever get tired, Dorothy, sitting there all day holding a man's hand and looking him in the face?
No, I don't.
No. Now, Mac, do you ever get tired looking... Oh, never mind. Well, you make a very interesting couple, although I'm not exactly sure which one of you I should go to for a manicure. Huh? Now, let's see how you can work together for $2,000. You're the last couple to play the Elgin American game. You beat the other two couples, and you get the $2,000 question. I can't tell you how much they won, but George is off stage to remind our listeners. Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. What question category did you select? Songs that ask questions. That's right. Now, here's your first question. You got $20. How much are you going to bet at this 20? Now, you can consult with Dorothy. You can talk this over together.
$10.
$10. Does that suit you all right, Mac? Okay. Mac is a very agreeable chap. Give me the title of the song. Okay, Stan.
How are things in
How are
Guatemala?
things in Guacamora?
And things are off to a great start. They have $30.
Sure, Miss Bates, you hit that right on the old nail now. Remember, you're going for $2,000 tonight now. How much of your $30 you going to bet on this one? 20? All right, here it is. The title of this song asks a question. What is the name of it?
Did you ever see a dream walking?
Did you ever see a dream walking is right?
They're on their way. They have $50.
Here's your third question. You got $50. How much you going to bet? How much, Mac?
20.
20? Is that all right with you, Dorothy?
Yeah.
All right. What's the name of this song? Play, Stan.
How deep is the
How
ocean?
deep is the ocean?
They now have $70.
Dorothy did not spend her time in skating rinks for nothing. I can see that. Now, you've got $70. Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 70 are you going to bet?
50.
You're going to bet 50. All right. What is that all right, Max? What is the name of this song?
What is this thing
What
called
is
love?
this thing called love? It's correct.
And they wind up with $120. And that means the traveling salesman and the airline hostess are the winning couple and get a chance to win $2,000. Years of the finest designing, engraving, finishing, and craftsmanship have put Elgin American compacts, cigarette cases, and lighters in a class by themselves. Beautiful and durable to use yourself, memorable as gifts for any occasion. See these exquisite accessories in rich colors, silver finish, jeweler's bronze, and sterling silver at any leading jewelry store, department store, or specialty shop. And you can put your cigarette case, lighter, and compact confidence in Elgin American. And here's the winning couple, the traveling salesman and the airline hostess.
Well, back again to try for $2,000 of Elgin American's money. Good luck. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you and talk it over thoroughly. And no help from the audience, please. Here it is for $2,000 in cash. The United States was a young, struggling country in 1778, and European nations refused to recognize us. What was the first European country to officially recognize the United States? All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
France.
France is right. That's right. Congratulations. You win $2,000. You had the right answer. What are you going to do with the money? Dorothy? Mary?
Well, I don't know.
Don't know? Well, I'm sure you'll find some good use for it.
I think I will.
And Joe, where's your part of the swag going to go?
Well, I have a few financial obligations I'd like to clear up, and I'd kind of like to give my mother a trip to the coast. She's never been out here, and she hasn't seen her grandchildren in nearly 2 years. And
Well, you're going to split about, I don't know, $1,100 apiece, something like that. Buy yourself a new joke book with that $1,100.
Thank you very much.
Well, here it is, $2,000 from Elgin American Compacts. You certainly cleaned up tonight. Not only did you win the $2,000, but you each won a 16-millimeter sound movie projector, plus $205. You earned the total of $2,205. Congratulations, and thanks to both of you.
The Elgin American Show, You Bet Your Life, is a John Goodell production. Transcribed from Hollywood, directed by Bob Dwan. Editor, Bernie Smith. Music by Stanley Myers. Remember, next week's big question pays $1,000. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this time for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx. Presented by the creators of America's most beautiful compacts, smartest cigarette cases, and finest dresser sets, Elgin American.
Good night, folks. Have you looked at your compact lately?